Every day for 30 days, I'm posting tips to help you who are considering immigrating from America to Norway, many after the most recent presidential election. My name's Kari. I immigrated from America to Norway 2 years ago, so I'm new here, but I spent my childhood in America being taught Norwegian language and culture at a kind of interesting boarding school situation. So I'm new here, but an expert on the culture. It's day 7. I thought I would start going over some of the frequently asked questions. So, what are the schools like? How will you adjust to them? This is one of the many things that I think people assume they're going to really like when I tell you what it's like, but you have to make sure that you're really ready for it because it's a huge adjustment from what we're taught to think of school as in America. And even with all my knowledge, when we took my daughter to school for the first day of school in Norway, we had her signed up. I thought I knew what to expect. And then I was like, okay, when do we pick her up? Is it 3:15, 3:30, whatever? And they're like, 1:30. Now, she was a second grader, and I was like, 1:30. And I blinked at them. And they blinked at me, not knowing what I was confused about. And yeah, then I was like, in America, we normally pick kids up at 3:30 from school. And they were like, what? Like the kid stays in school till 3:30? Yeah. Then I had to tell them that, yeah, like even from kindergarten, we do that to children, which they couldn't believe. So here's the structure of school in Norway. Kindergarten is still basically daycare. The kids play outside. Mine was a nature daycare. So it is not school whatsoever. Starting in first grade, that's basically the beginning of elementary school. And also, this is the sunset right now. It's 1 o'clock. It's beginning to set. It'll be dark in a couple hours, so get ready for that. But starting in first grade, school starts at around 8:30 and it's done at around 1:30. On Fridays, it's done at 12:30. At least that's how it is here, and it's generally the same. Within that 5-hour period, they have 3 different quite long recesses. School up until 5th grade, therefore, is all about play and learning how to socialize. Of course, they have math and reading, but they prioritize learning outcomes like how to manage social conflict. Hi, Suvi. 1 day a week is outdoor school where they go hiking. Other things that are seen on the curriculums are swimming lessons. They learn how to bicycle as part of their learning outcomes. Even in kindergarten, the kids are learning what it feels like to go into the water with clothes on, so they can feel the weight of that on them. This week in 4th grade, they're learning first aid. Like so much else about Norway, I know you're probably sitting here thinking this sounds amazing, but just think about your actual values. Give it some more critical thought. Many people end up, even Norwegians, sometimes feel like they don't learn enough learning here, that they should have more math and reading. And I'm not going to lie, I've heard about second graders that have trouble like writing on a number line 1 to 20. I mean, they are really prioritizing social, physical, and emotional learning. I think that's amazing. I was an educator. I moved here because I was scared of school shootings, and that was my primary reason. And I think we clearly in America need more social conflict management training than algebra. Not everybody in the world is going to need high-level math, but all of us are going to need to interact in society meaningfully. So for me, I think it's great. I love it. But here's one thing that will surprise you, and surprised and kind of stressed us out. In a way, school isn't free here. Yes, school is free, but because school ends at 1:30, the school after school program begins from 1:30 to 3 or 4, and that costs money. It's changing a little bit from municipality to municipality. Right now, I think it's free now in 1st and 2nd grade. When we moved here, it wasn't. And it costs about $200 a month. So if you're working full-time, you actually are paying schools about $200 a month per child, depending on the child's age. And daycare is not free either. That was something that surprised us because you feel like this is a place with a lot of social supports, and it is. We interpret that as a lot of free services, and there are, but this structure is a little bit different, and it will surprise you. So those are the main things to think about. Lots more play, lots more social education, way more outdoor time, And also, in a way, it's not exactly free because children are out of school beginning at 1:30-ish. They don't start doing grades at all until 5th grade. Many people, this is great, I think, but many people say that the kids then emerge into 5th grade not really prepared for any of the anxieties that come with being assessed in a school setting. So there is a downside to all of this, and you just got to pick what works best for your family. Once you get into the high school level, you can either choose going to sort of a college training, sort of high school general studies, or you can go into a vocational school. Those are the two different pathways that exist there. So I hope this helps. Give it a think because it isn't all perfect. There are costs and benefits to each. It works for us. I, as an educator, my husband as an educator, love it, but it's not for everybody. And the sort of deficits in learning that you might encounter here as a result of this would bother many Americans, even if it sounds good on the surface.